It's Shannon, keeping it real. It's Shannon. Keeping it real.
Hello and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Our guest today is Mr. Kevin Bird. He is here to talk to us about prostate cancer. He is a God-fearing, multi-award-winning entertainer and global prostate cancer health advocate, and the CEO of his own not-for-profit foundation called the Brown Bird Foundation. But before we talk to him, it's time for... What do you think of when someone is sick and can't speak for themselves, and you was married to someone, but you are not quite put the seal on the divorce yet? Do you think that person should have the right to take over and make the decisions for your husband?
Well, I think if there's next of kin, like another parent or some adult children, it should be a collective effort. They should include them into the decision.
Well, I mean, like the case now with
Lamar
Odom, who's now unconscious. So him and Chloe was not finalized. I mean, it was signed, but I guess the
courts
judge
was
didn't
backed
stamp
up.
it yet. So do you think that she has the right to step in and make
No,
that decision?
I think that if I'm already divorced from the person, whether it's finalized or not through the courts, we technically are divorced. I would leave it to the person, as long as he had family, kids, whoever, father, parents, for them to make that decision. If he didn't have anyone, that's something different. Then I would step in and make some decisions for him.
Well, the kids are not of age. They're still, one is the oldest one, like
kids.
17.
They're 17, 18, but he
but
has a
that's-
father.
Yes,
Yeah.
but she
But
did.
maybe
but
the
she-
father's
but
not-
the father was estranged from him also.
That's
for
what I'm
years
saying. You don't
here.
even hardly know
But she
anything
did
about
do
his
the
father.
right thing. She flew them in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Even the
she
kids,
did.
even the kid's mother. So they making like a family
So she's
event.
probably
But
like
if the
talking to
but
them.
if the family wants to make that decision, wants to step in and handle it, then I will allow them to handle it. I won't be going back and forth with them to argue
Well, you
because
know
I'm
what?
not his wife anymore.
To me, in their case, just talking about them, but I know we're talking in general, but even in their case, I wouldn't have a problem with her doing it because, see, I feel like she really loved him.
Yes.
And he loved her. So, if it's about, the people really loved each other, I think he would want her to.
I agree, especially if he's been estranged from his father. His father hasn't been there.
Family.
The kids, he was never married to the kid's mother.
Exactly.
So she has no say.
In his situation, it's a good thing that she's still around, that she was able to step in and take control and do what she needs to do for him. But then there's other cases where the person has family and they're saying, well, you're not his wife anymore. We're going to take over and we're going to have control. And you're going to have to take the back seat.
Exactly. I mean, if family members step up to fight her, yes. But just take, for instance, like cases when people separate and never got a divorce, right? Then when they die, now they haven't seen that wife or spouse maybe in 10, 15, or 20 years. But as soon as they hear that person is dead, they step up to the plate saying, I am his wife, I am her husband, and they are in charge of everything.
Exactly. That's next
and
of
that's
kin.
what happens.
But that's crazy.
That's next of
But
kin.
I'm saying that's what
that's their
happens.
changing the
But if
information.
there's nobody there to take care of the person, then that's something different. But what in case that 10, 15 years has gone by, that person now has a girlfriend or whatever. Now, because I'm his wife, I should step in and say, no, you can't have no control.
doesn't
You are
matter.
taking wife
But
his,
what I'm saying is they can have a girl. Let me tell you, I'm telling you this because I know of a case
That's
like
true.
this. That this guy, and I worked with him. Him and his wife had separated and everything, but he never got a divorce. And him and his girlfriend had been going together for 15 years. He got real sick and passed away. The wife showed up, and she took over, act like the girlfriend did not exist, made all the funeral arrangements and everything.
That's crazy.
Even the
No,
first
that's
wife,
true.
who he was divorced to, showed up. Also showed up.
for checks. That sounds
No,
like
but the
I
thing-
showed up for
but
checks.
she made the wife
Because-
made the arrangement and pushed the girlfriend to side, which I said to the girlfriend because I knew the girl also. I said, I blame you for that because they would have pushed me.
But
to the
that's what
side.
I'm saying.
And even the day of the funeral, she's sitting in the back rather than up there in the front
But
row.
then I
No,
blame
but
her.
But she doesn't have that choice. She doesn't really have that choice. It's his fault. He should have changed
Well,
his
that's
papers.
true.
He could
I
have had
said
a will.
that, yeah.
He could have designated.
Because I don't know why you
15
living
years?
with
But
someone
first of
for
all,
15
I'm
years
taking
and not
care,
married.
even though I'm not married, whatever the case may be. But I'm taking care of you when you're sick. I'm by your hospital bed. This wife wasn't thinking nothing about you. All of a sudden, now you dead, and there's checks and money to be
Listen,
handed
listen.
out.
That's by
now
law.
you want
No,
to
that's
get-
by law.
I
That's
know
law.
it's by
She is
law, but
still
you didn't
legally
care.
married to
But
him.
you didn't care
Well,
when he
she-
was
what does
dying.
she care?
When he was dying, and at the hospital, you didn't care.
But that's
But
that's,
now you can't because he's
But
going
this
in the
is
grave.
what I'm saying. But
Well,
this is what I'm saying.
you can't blame the wife stepping in after 20, 30, 50 years. You got to blame him.
him.
You gotta
And
blame
her.
Let me tell you.
I blame
Blame
him
her
for
too,
not
because
changing
you
his
shouldn't
paper.
even
But
stay with
why
someone that long.
But why do you feel as a wife you ain't cared about this man? You
Because-
ain't thought about this
because
man.
the
You ain't care
law-
when he was
no,
dying.
because the law
now you
backs
wanna
her.
If the
come.
man
The law
has
backs
money
her up.
and property,
Exactly.
Please, who's thinking about what
Hello?
someone?
That's what I just
Well, what
said.
she's gonna say
I said
is,
for a
well,
check.
you the one stayed there and took care of him and not getting married to him.
I said she did for her check to collect her check.
Well, I still blame her most. I blame the woman more so than
Yeah, she
him.
should've
Because
sold
if
it.
you're gonna go with someone that long, you gonna
Yes.
get a divorce.
Yes.
Because if you ain't getting that divorce after we've been going together for at least 3-4 years, then we not even having
Listen,
it.
she should
Because
at least-
if you're not going back to the woman, then what is the problem about you getting a divorce? Because see, when people don't get a divorce, it's because they leaving that door open for something. Not to
Listen,
do.
she
Or
should
something
listen. She
time.
should have had an insurance policy on the
She
side.
did. Oh, good question. Well, my
Well-
question is, that's a good question. So what happens when you with somebody, right, and they don't get an insurance policy?
You can get a policy.
And they die. Do you think that it's obligated for you to pay for the funeral?
No, that's out of your heart when you
Exactly.
want to play for it or not.
Okay.
But when in cases like when people are legally married but never got the divorce, you are still responsible for that person, even though when something happened, because that's who they call.
When the
they
person
call
that's
their
married.
wife. They
It's
look
next
for
of
the
kin.
wife,
It's next of
and
kin.
because they'll ask you, did he have a wife? And you might say, oh well, no, they were separated for years. Well, we need to talk to that wife or
Exactly.
whatever. That's what's going to happen.
You could come and view.
Exactly.
You have no decisions.
But see, the girlfriend, if you're going to get involved with someone else, to me, the girlfriend has to straighten that out. Because my thing is, well, if you don't want to get a divorce, then you put my name on everything you
Yeah,
have.
how much security?
Because then whatever paperwork you have my name on, that's what I'm going to get.
Exactly.
So you better put it in. If you don't want to get married, all well and good. But you better bring the mortgage papers here for me to sign for the house. And my name on all your bank
But
account
isn't the
cards.
law say that even though he puts your name on it, the wife can come in and contest
You can leave
that?
her $1.
No,
Right.
but she can take you to court and
She
contest
can-
it and
she
say,
can
I'm
take
the
you to
wife,
court. No,
right?
She can
But-
take you to court.
yeah, but-
as long as he put something down
Exactly.
that he left her, ain't nothing she can do. Long as your name
$1
is
sounds
down
about
there.
right to me.
Yeah, you leave them $1, and that way they can't come after you with anything. Because that's what happens in cases when you are not divorced. Because to me, if once I'm finished with you, I thought we should be finished. What are we still walking around not having a divorce for? And then you run into someone else you really care for and love, and now you got to waste time getting a divorce and all of that kind of stuff.
People
No.
don't care. They just move on without the divorce.
Listen, $1, non-interest free. Side of the line.
Yeah, but see, some women get involved like that with the men, and they don't ask. They don't
They don't
see
get
all of
anything
this
out of it.
stuff has to be put on the table at the beginning.
Right.
Okay, if you tell me you was married, my friend, are you divorced? Do you plan on getting a divorce?
Right.
When? We gonna have this discussion up front, because see, I have to make a decision now whether I still want to be in this relationship with you or not. If you are not divorced, because see, now you're gonna be playing on my feelings, because if I fall in love with you and something don't happen, then it's gonna be trouble. You understand what I'm saying? Then it's gonna be trouble.
I tell you one
so
thing.
I'm just saying.
They better do something for something to do them, because women getting skills these days.
That's what I'm saying. So you better make sure that paperwork is in order when you get involved and in a relationship with someone, because you never know what might happen, and you know who comes out of the woodwork when they know there's money and property and valuables involved. So think about that when you're in a relationship. So we're going to come back with our special guest today, Mr. Kevin Bird. We'll be right back.
Case studies where you take these exams and they can see whether or not you have prostate cancer in its early stages. And so once you see your physician and he gives you those 2 exams, the PSAs and the DRE,
You know, this used to be a good neighborhood. Now it's a mess. You got all these polyps running around. Stick it to the devil.
Colon cancer almost always starts with the polyp. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts.
Where'd you think you were running to, huh?
I didn't even see you guys there. I was...
Get the test, get the polyp,
I want to talk to my lawyer!
get the cure.
I got a phone call!
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Mine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
We are back with our special guest, Mr. Kevin Berg. He is an entertainer, filmmaker, chairman of the 100 Black Men of Long Island, entered into the Library of Congress, honored by mayors, government officials, Queen Elizabeth, and our very own President Obama. October 1st is declared Kevin Berg's Day in Utica, New York, for his prostate cancer awareness. We'd like to welcome Mr. Berg to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Kevin. And
Yes.
I want to say how proud we are of you, of all the good work that you've been doing about prostate cancer, because we know that's serious with men. And we're just thankful that you've been doing a lot of work. And I know you started your foundation, and this started because your grandfather passed with prostate cancer.
That is correct.
And so you started the foundation from there.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit of some of the things that you've been doing to make men aware of prostate cancer.
Well, first of all, I started the nonprofit organization called the Brown Bird Foundation back when I was in college. I wrote and produced a short film called The Last Days. And I used The Last Days as a mechanism, a way to raise the awareness of prostate cancer in the community. I wrote and produced, and I started as lead actor in the film. And so we turned the film into an awareness project, so we can get the awareness to men and in the community at large. First, start very small, and then we decided to grow with The Last Days. The Last Days was screened at various screening theaters, and it just kind of went on a national level. And then from there, I wrote and produced a short play called Release. I did that, and then from there, when we did the Last Days and Release, I felt like, okay, we're making a lot of great impact. The message is getting out there about prostate cancer, because with The Last Days, Michael, the lead character that I portrayed, he was diagnosed with the disease of prostate cancer at a young age. And with my one-man show Release, one of the characters in the one-man show, Bruno, was diagnosed with prostate cancer as well. So with my background with theater and performing arts, I was feeling like, okay, great, I have a voice with my background in performing arts to push out my work with prostate cancer more on a wide range level. And it so happened that Marty Markowitz, the Brooklyn Borough president, heard about my foundation's work and endorsed my work first. And then it went from Marty Markowitz, then it went to Nancy Pelosi, she endorsed me, and then governors and mayors, and it just went from a local to a national to international level. It just happened so quickly within the past few years.
Okay, so...
Yes. Well, you know, Kevin, it's interesting. What is the statistics now with prostate cancer, and who does it affect most?
Well, the statistics are 1 out of every 7 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and about 235,000 men will die of prostate cancer annually. So that's a lot of people, and every 17 minutes a man is diagnosed with prostate cancer.
So now that we know a lot of men, they don't like to go to the doctor to get themselves checked.
No.
So what would you say to men today that may be listening to let them know how serious prostate cancer is and how important it is to go and get yourself tested?
Well, I would just tell any man, any young man, what my work has been done is we started with the youth first, because I realized a lot of young men, especially in their 20s and 30s, they don't even know what prostate cancer was. So with the work that I've done, because with the Last Day screenings and the one-man show, I did a college tour, because you have to reach the youth in the college age, because that's the age bracket where you need to start talking about serious diseases anyway. But I particularly started in the sector where I was going to different colleges at first, and then from there it just grew. But you gotta tell the youth first, and you gotta tell them so they can tell their loved ones about it at home, and you could pass the message from home down to co-workers, down to family members. It just needs to hit everybody.
Well, how receptive are the youth? Are they really understanding the dynamics of prostate cancer?
Yes, when I first started, about 10 years ago, because I've been fighting for prostate cancer for about 15 years now, almost. When I started, I was 22 years old. I'm 34 now. And I realized a lot of young men didn't even know what prostate cancer was. And they were like, what's that? And when I did the screenings of the last days, like I said before, and starting in colleges, I really wanted to target the youth at first and let them know about the one-man show and all the other accomplishments that came with the Brown Bird Foundation. But really, I wanted them to see that you can make a difference in your community, just getting this awareness out there, getting your grandpa, telling your uncle, your brother, your cousin about this insidious disease, and then really getting out there and getting men tested.
Have you thought about going to the barbershops, faith-based communities?
Yes, I have. I did a national tour. It was called the Brown Bird Prostate Cancer National Tour back in 2009. I worked with a famous urologist. His name is Dr. Ron Carey. I also worked with a famous Amazon bestseller author. His name is Rabbi Ed Weinsberg. Us three went on a national tour. It was interdenominational tour, a faith-based tour, where we spread the love of Jesus Christ through the tour, but the whole message was all about prostate cancer, getting men tested. I performed my one-man show, and we had prostate cancer screenings, and we gave literature out, and it was great because a lot of people in the faith-based community came out came out and they saw the work that we were doing in the community, and they helped join the tour that I was doing back in 2009.
I want to get into a person, a man of age who would be prone to prostate cancer, and say what are some of the signs that they would be looking for to see if they have, that something has changed in their body that possibly could be prostate cancer.
Yeah, first there's prostate cancer is called a silent killer. Usually sometimes you can have prostate cancer and not even know that you have it. But some of the signs that you can look for are swollen glands, and you can look for be difficult to use the bathroom, urination, fatigueness, might be really tired a lot more. And you can see when you use the bathroom and urination, there could be blood. Those are signs that you can check and see. But really, it's prostate cancer. You can have prostate cancer and not even have any signs and any symptoms with the disease.
So what is the recommended age now for screening?
40 to 40. Started at 40. 40 years old.
40?
40, yeah. 40 and go up. But I recommend men in their early 30s to go and at least get screened as well.
Okay. So now take us through, so if a man starts having these symptoms that you say they're having, and they go to the doctor and they are diagnosed with prostate cancer, what is the first thing that they should be doing? Like, I know they should be searching out certain doctors that perform this kind of surgery.
The biopsy surgery. Well, I recommend first, when you are with your doctor, you see a nutritionist and a great urologist. And from that, I think that a nutritionist, a urologist, and good family support helps bring a tighter niche when you are diagnosed with prostate cancer. It helps help the family grow more together, because a lot of times when you have prostate cancer, you distance yourselves from your family because loved ones have a difficulty dealing with cancer in general. So I recommend anybody that has prostate cancer or being diagnosed with prostate cancer see their family physician on an annual basis once a year to get screened and tested, and follow up with them and continue to be as valuable support in your home and in the community.
Right, but I want to know, like, what is the steps that the doctor takes you through? Once you, it's just like, say when we get, say like if we get breast cancer and they hit us with the shocking news. Well, after we pick ourselves up off the ground and get ourselves together, like it's the same thing with the men, I'm sure, when they hear shocking news. Like after they go to the doctor sits down with them, go through a plan as to what type, because I think there's different types of surgery.
There's
prostate.
Yeah, there is. There's 2 different exams that the doctor will give you. It's called the DRE and the DRE and the PSAs. These are the 2 really known case studies where you take these exams and they can see whether or not you have prostate cancer in its early stages. And so once you see your physician and he gives you those 2 exams, the PSAs and the DRE, it could really show whether or not you have signs or have a PSA level of 1 through 4. 1 being you're undetectable for prostate cancer, 4 meaning that your cancer is spreading throughout the body.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk about the mental stage that men are facing once they go through all of this and have the surgery and stuff. So we're talking to Mr. Kevin Bird about prostate cancer, and we'll be right back.
Did you know there are 4 simple things you can do every day to lower your risk of cancer? Unfortunately, most Americans don't.
For too long, Americans have become accustomed to thinking that cancer just happens. But we now know that the things we do or don't do as we go about our daily lives can affect our risk for cancer.
We can boil it down to 4 small steps. Eat right, be active, avoid smoking and tobacco, and get recommended screenings. Do this, and you can reduce your cancer risk.
Hi, we're back with Mr. Kevin Bird, and we've been talking about prostate cancer. And before we went to break, we was talking about when men have surgery. So now we want to talk about now, after they have had their surgery, you know, there's steps that they still have to go through, even mentally, you know, facing the fact of what have happened to them. What are some of the things that you advise them to do to help them get through this? Because it takes a while to go through all of this.
Oh, yeah. I believe in my non-for-profit. We're a faith-based Christian non-for-profit, so we believe in spreading the love of Jesus Christ. We believe in healing through the love of Christ. We believe in holistic approaches. We believe in getting involved with a more support system, you know, in reference to friends, loved ones, things like that of that sort, to kind of bring in the support system that you need when you're being diagnosed with prostate cancer. And the mental state, it's like any type of any other cancer that we hear about on a daily basis. It's hard for the man to deal with prostate cancer because it can spread throughout the body. And when any type of cancer spreads throughout the body, it's hard for us to just even comprehend. It takes a lot that our bodies go through mentally, emotionally, and physically.
And also, too, when they meet up, when they have to sit down with the doctor about the surgery, because of the different surgeries, because sometimes the surgery can cause them to be impotent.
Yeah.
So they have to make sure they pick the right surgery so this doesn't happen to them. So what suggestions do you give? Did they write down their questions when they go into the doctor, or they rely on the doctor to make that decision of which surgery they should have?
Well, it's all based on doing your own research. You know, that's why it's important that I'll tell any man to pick up a book and read about prostate cancer so you know what steps you want to take once the doctor has told you that you had prostate cancer, and getting more facts about cancer in general, because it's so important that they know where they are in facts so they can go in with their doctor and with the reading and the family support, and the doctors can really show them that what procedures are next for them. But a biopsy is a test. It's an exam that's what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
You were talking about the radiology.
Yes.
That they have to go through after they take the.
Yes, the radiology testing that they have to do is really important. So it really helps in reference to detecting whether or not the test can cure the cancer right away.
Okay, what about the support groups? Is there a lot of support groups?
Yeah, there are. There are a lot of support groups. Okay. The American Cancer Society is a great support group. The American Cancer Coalition for Prostate Cancer is another great support group. So there's a lot of different support groups that are out there. But the greatest support is your faith in God and having your family and loved ones around you.
Well, Kevin, we want to thank you for joining us today and giving us some information on prostate cancer and what resources that you can have. And we encourage men to really go and get tested. So,
yes,
men,
it's important.
If you're watching me today, go to the doctor and get yourself tested. You may save your own life and not hardship for your family, because we all go through this. The women go through it and the men go through it. So get all the information you can. Go to the doctor. Do what you have to do. Because Shannon is telling you to do this now, okay? So, as always, we'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Shatine Houston, and you're watching Keeping It Real with Shannon. Shannon can be seen every Saturday at 5:30 on Brooklyn Public Network and Manhattan Neighborhood Network at 2:30. You could check your school listings for channels. Keep It Real with Shannon.
Hi. Thanks for watching the show today. We want to thank Mr. Kevin Bird for joining us today. I hope you'll come again. But before we close out, we cannot close out without saying happy birthday to someone special who works on my show all the time. We fight all the time, but we love each other all the time. So I want you to give a good, well-rounded birthday for none other than Mr. Patrick McKeever. Turn the music up. Come on, y'all. Out loud. Turn the music up. Turn up the music. Mr. Patrick, get in here.
I'm gonna blow out the candle.
Just how much we love you. And I'm sure you wanna be. But before there's a party on the day you came to me.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
See you out there. Thank you, everybody. Tune in next time. We're going to do our thing over and over and over.